Hey, and welcome to Main Street Living. I am Cheryl Nelson.
Hey guys, I'm Quincy Carr.
And I'm Danielle Alvari.
So good to see both of you. And we have another holiday right around the corner. The 4th of July. Seems like we just had Memorial Day and now the 4th. Do you guys do anything fun or special?
I know out here we can watch the fireworks in Norfolk, Virginia, right? But they're on the water side, water there. So we could do that. And then at least one time, my wife and I will take the ferry from a city called Portsmouth over to Norfolk water side. So it's always cool to at least do it just once. I mean, I was in the Navy, so I can't be on boats all the time.
That's amazing. Danielle, what about you?
Well, I do have some friends who believe that wine tasting is one of the most American things we can do. So that is something I've done in the past around that weekend. I think people love to get away on 4th of July and go do fun activities like that. So maybe I'll sneak some of that in again. Yeah. Cheryl, what about you?
Yes, and speaking of getting away, guys, check out this video that I took. This was from last 4th of July. I was on a Delta plane coming out of Atlanta, and it was right after 9 o'clock. And as you can see in the video, there are just pockets of light, all the fireworks. Here's some pink ones and white ones and yellow ones. I mean, Everywhere you look, I think I saw every fireworks show within, I don't even know how many hundreds of miles, but it was so cool to see from the air. If you've never had a chance to do it, I highly recommend flying during 4th of July fireworks.
Oh yeah, I could imagine that's got to be cool just to look down and see that. I remember when we flew over when it was like a bunch of forest fires and it was just all orange, but you see it from the sky. So it's just interesting to see that from the sky.
Yeah, it's creepy to see the fires, but the fireworks were definitely cool to be above those guys. And, we're going to bring you some fireworks today on Main Street Living. We've got a great show lined up for you. In fact, do you have a green thumb? I don't necessarily, but we're going to talk about how to grow both citrus fruits and also tomatoes.
There we go. And we're feeding San Diego, speaking of food, but we're also happy for the return to summer camp, too.
All right, but we're also going to talk about different ways to cool you down, whether that's getting some new doors and windows or sipping on some summertime cocktails. Next up, we visit with our friends from Seven Caves. They're back right here on Main Street Living.
Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Ladies, I know this for sure. Okay, we are all heading into the summer with a newfound appreciation for the simple pleasure of enjoying a drink like with Cheryl and other friends, right? Right, Cheryl?
Yes, specifically Cheryl. Yes, Cheryl's the friend I want to be drinking with.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks.
And of course, as we make plans to entertain guests this summer, there are never too many options for delicious, convenient drinks. Distiller and mixologist Geoff Longnecker from 7K Spirits is here with some ideas for whipping up a perfect summer beverage. Welcome back to the show, Geoff. Thanks so much for joining us on Main Street.
Hey guys, welcome. I'm so glad to see you again. It's always interesting, we're here in California, we're just getting back open, having people back in the shop and getting ready for summertime. It's all interesting these days.
We are ready.
Cool. I see we're going to get into some exciting stuff today. We're excited about the summer and of course the chance to enjoy a beverage with friends, family. What are some of the cocktail trends you think we'll see this summer?
Well, so one of the fascinating things happening in the world of both craft spirits and macro spirits are the rise of canned cocktails. I think a lot of the people who have been drinking like hard seltzers for a while and maybe fruited beers are venturing into the more higher alcohol percentage range of canned cocktails. And certainly companies like Cutwater and other larger players are starting to put more canned cocktails on the market. You're seeing them in all your stores and gas stations. So you're starting to see a lot of us make our own canned cocktails. Seven Caves is about to launch its first one, which is called the Saturn cocktail. I can't wait for it to come out in July. It's a traditional tropical cocktail made with gin, passion fruit, lemon, all the fun stuff.
Yeah, and we're seeing these canned cocktails coming out a lot lately, and I know the convenience is fantastic, but what should we look out for so we know it's a quality drink?
Well, that's a great question. One, generally the smaller distillers aren't they're making the spirits themselves. They're more focused on the quality of it rather than just getting it into 50 different states. I'm just speaking for myself. I'm laboring over individual ingredients. Obviously you should look at sugar content. You should look at calories. You should look at alcohol content. I mean, mine is designed for a stronger alcohol content. It's a 13% as opposed to like a beer, which is around 7 or 6. So all those things. But I mean, if you're buying a canned cocktail that's made locally by somebody in your area, you're going to have something that's a lot better than a mass-produced brand.
Definitely. Does Seven Caves have anything seasonal going on right now? Any seasonal offerings that might provide some inspiration for a summer drink?
Oh yeah. So Seven Caves is known for its seasonal gins, and gin's a really hot part of the industry right now. So I do seasonal gins, almost every time of the year. Right now, I'm about to release my summertime gin, which is a lavender, lemongrass, blood orange, and juniper gin. Very delicious, very refreshing. It's actually been sitting in a wine barrel for the last couple of months. So it's this bright, beautiful pink color. Really makes great gin and tonics, and it makes a really wonderful version of a cocktail we're going to try today.
Oh my gosh. And speaking of that, you are going to make a summertime classic. Let's get to it, because I'm going to take some notes so I can make one of these at home.
So this is one of these very simple cocktails. It's called a Southside. It's a kind of a new classic. So we start with some fresh mint. Now, always when you use mint, just give it a nice little whack like that. Don't ever muddle it, because it'll turn more vegetal. You'll see people grind it. Don't do that. It kind of ruins the mint. So add a little bit of mint to your glass. Then we're going to go with 2 ounces of gin. I'm using my Seven Caves London Dry Style. It's a nice crisp London Dry Style gin. Then we're going to add 1 ounce of fresh lemon juice. This is about half of a lemon if you don't have one of these pourers. And then about 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. So basically it's gin, mint, lemonade. It's kind of hard to think of something less or more refreshing in the summertime. So we start with that, just a little bit of ice. Now look, we can shake however you want, but we'll just give it a nice quick little shake. We have a prepared glass with some ice cubes already ready to go. Fancy little strainer here. Pour it right over the top. And if you want to, you can top it with a little Prosecco. We could put a nice little mint garnish on top. But that's the Southside, as easy as it gets. Gin, mint,
so good. And do you put lemon or lime on top of that?
Well, look, we can dress it up however you like. A big sprig of mint is great. A nice slice of lime. We can add some club soda and make it a little less alcoholic and a little bit more refreshing. This is also a great cocktail that you can do in like a big batch. If you're going to a party, you can plan it all out ahead of time, and instead of doing the 2 parts booze, 1 part sour, and 3/4 part simple, you can do that as cups. You can do it as bottles if you want. We make a big batch to take to the, if you're not in California, you can drink on the beach, then just about anywhere.
That sounds like a great party right there. But I want to go back to the mint, because in mojitos, don't you normally muddle and smush the mint around? But you're saying it ruins it. You got to tell us why.
So you should try this at home. Just grab some mint and try the little smack that I just did, or try grinding it together and smell the difference. It's pretty wild. When you generally see in mojitos, when they're grinding something or muddling something, is the fruit that they're muddling, and then they'll stir in the mint. If you see people grinding mint like that, just try it yourself at home and you'll see what I'm talking about. It doesn't make it terrible. It just makes it kind of like vegetal is the best way to describe it.
Good to know.
Well, before we go, let's make sure we can find more information about Seven Caves. So where can people find more information about you, Geoff?
So I'll come visit my website. We did a bunch of cocktail classes during COVID, so there's a ton of different recipes on my website. And of course, Instagram for the most latest. I have a mailing list you can sign up for and learn about my latest releases and offerings, when the canned cocktail's coming out, and all kinds of great drinks for summertime. So
that is so great to hear. And before we go to, I was curious, is the normal amount of alcohol for a drink, is it normally 2 ounces like you put in there?
Well, look, I guess it just kind of depends upon how your week has been. But let's just say, it's been a busy week here at Seven Caves. We're in the morning right now, but I'd say 1.5 to 2 ounces of alcohol is pretty standard. It's a pretty standard amount.
Yeah.
And Geoff, I have to say, I did buy your guys' maple syrup when we had you on last, and it was incredible. And I can't wait until the holiday time to buy it again. So can't say enough good things about it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That is a real labor of love at my shop. I love, we're going to release a special edition maple syrup this year too, with a coffee cinnamon backing to it, which is really fun.
Ooh, and you're in, is it San Diego?
That's it. I'm in San Diego, just outside near the Marine base here, Miramar.
All right, so we're doing a road trip to San Diego because we're going to have some of those drinks. One of these days, Danielle, we are getting out there. We're going to make it happen. Thanks so much again for joining us today. We've got a lot more coming up on Main Street Living. In fact, those drinks, you want some fruit in them, right? Well, you can learn how to grow your own citrus fruit next. Don't miss it. Welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Quincy, home gardening has been on the rise for several years, but I think it really took off during the pandemic.
That is actually interesting, Cheryl, because growing your own citrus trees can be a bit challenging. And I'm not saying because you and I live in Virginia where the weather is horrible, but especially if you don't have a green thumb, like that's the most important thing. So no worries, our good friends at Moon Valley Nurseries are experts on this topic, and they'll have you picking fruit from your own trees in no time. Check them out.
So Moon Valley Nurseries offers tons of different varieties of citrus trees. Some of our household favorites are limes, lemons, red and white grapefruits, sweet oranges, navel oranges, tangerines, tangelos, kumquats, the list goes on. There's an enormous selection, there's tons to choose from. You can come see it right on the trees. Citrus trees vary depending on the variety. A good rule of thumb, if it's a really sweet variety, it tends to grow a little slower than say the sour varieties like your lemons. But they all grow at a good rate here in the Phoenix area. We grow them on grafted trees, so they perform very well. You're gonna get good fruit and good growth out of them in a younger age even. The fruit schedule for the citrus trees kind of varies depending on the varieties. Things like lemons and limes can be almost as often as year-round. Things like your orange species, for example, are usually winter-heavy crops, some earlier than others. Some will start as early as, say, September, October, and go all the way through as late as February, March. It's really important to feed your trees in the Phoenix area. Our soil's pretty poor, there's not a lot of stuff in it to begin with, so the more frequently we can fertilize these trees, the better your production is gonna get. We recommend strongly that you feed these guys with our moon dust, for example, March through October, once a month. It's very important to get that on there. When they're young trees, and we plant with soil and water conditioner, we also recommend to use that throughout the course of its life. That helps with the water penetration, it helps get some sulfur in the soil, which lowers the pH. Very important to do. And of course, you can use our moon juice once a month, basically. It helps with the rooting hormone, really gets the guys going and gets them rooting out and establishes the tree at a younger and faster pace. So citrus trees grow best really in any spot in your yard. We put them in pots on patios, we plant them in people's side yards, backyards, front yards even. There are some neighborhoods in the Phoenix metro area that actually require citrus trees as part of the community, so really anywhere we can find a home for them. The great news is any more of the trees being grafted, they tend to stay a smaller size tree than what they used to be 30 years ago. So you can control the size of them and put them in tight spots if that's all you have, or plant a big orchard of them and fill your whole yard with them. It's whatever you like to do. Things to consider when planting a citrus tree is really kind of taking into account what you're going to use the most. So if you're the type of person that does a ton of cooking, lemons and limes tend to be some of our most favorite trees. If you're looking for, say, cocktails, go with your favorite drink, your favorite mixture, go with your favorite flavor. I always look at what am I going to eat the most personally. So if you've got kids, oranges are a big favorite, tangerines are a big favorite. Those are easy to peel, they're great to eat, they're easy to give away. People love all those oranges and sweet flavored citrus. So really, what's your favorite flavor? What are you going to eat, cook with, or drink the most? There's a huge assortment of trees here, from some of the rare ones to, of course, your tried and true varieties.
Wow, seeing all of that citrus, guys, looks perfect for a cocktail. Maybe some lemons, a little bit of lime. Maybe Geoff Longnecker from Seven Cave Spirits can help us out with that. But
yes, that sounds good. I need to get rid of the coffee and get me one of those drinks instead.
I'm thinking acid reflux, all of that acid.
Well, Moon Valley Nursery has 41 locations nationwide, so head to their website, moonvalleynurseries.com, to find the location nearest to you. And coming up, we're going to talk all about whether or not you might need some new windows. It's probably time. We'll talk about it next. Welcome back into Main Street Living. Cheryl, Quincy, we've been talking about how much we're enjoying the summertime, but with it comes a lot more heat. So if it seems like your electric bills keep getting higher, it may be time to look at installing new doors and windows.
Yes, Danielle, that is a great idea. If it seems like that is happening, it's probably true. And investing in the latest technology may save you a bundle on cooling and heating your home. Lifetime Windows and Doors in Phoenix, Arizona has all the info on why now may be a great time to replace those old windows. Take a look.
So Lifetime Windows and Doors is a locally owned company established in 2016. Our founder, Peter Sveden, decided that this was a great opportunity in this market to serve all of the clients here against the big box stores and provide a better product and service. Our premium product here at Lifetime is Infinity from Marvin Windows and Doors. We chose to offer that product because of its narrow frame lines that offer a bigger glass or viewing space from each window or door. Infinity windows were recently rated as the #1 replacement windows by JD Power & Associates, so that you know you're going to get the best product available. The purpose behind our service is to provide an exceptional experience. And by doing that, we provide exceptional products, exceptional customer service, exceptional install that is warranted for lifetime. What that means is there's a lifetime on your product, your materials, the installation, the labor, and even accidental glass breakage. And the really cool thing is this is a lifetime warranty as long as you own the home and is transferable if you were to sell the house to that next owner, which is not something you commonly see.
Windows and doors are a phenomenal investment for homeowners, whether you are going to stay in your house or whether you're going to sell down the road, because they can help save on your energy bills. They give a great curb appeal to your home. And if you're going to sell, people notice that. And people want to find houses that don't have high ticket items. And if that's already checked off the list and somebody knows, hey, we've got these new windows, they have a lifetime warranty, that makes a huge difference in a buyer's mind.
Well, I think we get really great reviews because of the pride we take in our work, and I think our customers can see that from the initial consultation to when we're wrapping up their project. When I get to speak to customers, they tell me that they're happy with their project because not only did we transform the look of their home and make it more beautiful, they're excited about the energy cost savings that they're experiencing. We know many homeowners want to see the windows and doors that they're considering putting in their homes, and here in our showroom, they're going to get to touch and see them. We have an amazing showroom here in Phoenix that we're very proud of, and you can see it Monday through Friday between 8 and 5, or even schedule an appointment for a Saturday visit. As a locally owned company, it is important to Lifetime to give back to the community because we are part of the community, and the community's been good to us. And we know when the community moves forward, so does our business. And that's why it's so important to us to incorporate charitable giving into our product. We're giving a portion of every sale as a donation to St. Mary's Food Bank to help those in need in our community. It's just who we are. It brings us a lot of joy. We pride ourselves in providing excellent customer service, excellent products, and we back all that by a double lifetime warranty. Lifetime has a great sale going on right now. We're here to help you transform your home, so give us a call today.
I love that idea. And that company has a lifetime warranty too. I mean, that is perfect.
Absolutely. And if you're a homeowner, then you definitely know the value new windows can add to your home as well. So you can find more information at lifetimewindowsaz.com. And speaking of windows, ladies, we'll be able to see a little clearer while helping a neighbor in need. Up next, we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Cheryl, Danielle, we all know the global crisis over the past year has touched us all and has also put many families in a situation that they never dreamed that they would be in, including not knowing how they were going to get enough food to eat.
Yeah, it's so scary. And a group in San Diego is helping families bridge the gap by bringing together the resources and generosity of the community. So we want to welcome Bob Kamensky from Feeding San Diego to the show. Bob, so good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
So Feeding San Diego is focused on alleviating hunger in San Diego County, but the organization is different from a traditional food bank. Tell us exactly what Feeding San Diego does.
Well, it's very simple. We feed people. However, we do it in a different way in that our primary focus is on what is called food rescue. And food rescue comes in a couple different ways. One of those would be for food producers like grocery stores, and we then get that into our agency partners for distribution in the local communities where there are needs by people. The second way is by doing food rescue with farmers, because you'll have a lot of agricultural production and they can't get all of their product to market because the market may be saturated. Well, rather than having them plow it under or just dispose of it in the fields, we accept that fresh produce in large volume into our warehouse where we inject it into our distribution center supply chain that allows for distribution to the communities in need.
Wow. Well, I mean, with this pandemic this past year, a lot of people in the community have needed assistance with food who may not have needed help in the past. So who are some of the populations that you are helping now?
Well, I'll tell you, that has been an amazing, eye-opening experience for us, because you're looking at a lot of very high-end professionals, middle class type workers who are now they're idle. And it may have been for 3, 4, 6 months at some cases where they just don't have work because the pandemic has impacted their industry. We had, and this is from the San Diego Hunger Coalition, whom we use as our authoritative source for data, 1 in 3 San Diegans in our county have gone with food insecurity since November. And the data just most recently delivered in February is showing the same statistics. That's 1/3 of our population. That's over 1 million people, of which 280,000 of those are children. But we've had senior citizens impacted, college students, military families, cancer patients and their families, because they've now been sequestered to their homes during the pandemic. And to be able to access food, it's been a real challenge.
It really has. And you mentioned the military as well. And I know there are certain circumstances where the military families might need some help. And I know you have some partnerships with organizations to help out as well. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, first, I would like to say that having been in the military myself for a 35-year career, I know firsthand what can happen to military families. And in the case here in San Diego, I gave you that little statistic about how many people were being faced with food insecurity. Here's another interesting little statistic. Over 37% of the people who live in this county, one way or another, are associated with the military. Whether it's an active duty military member, a military member's family, a veteran, or families of veterans, that's well over 1 million people. Almost, it's like 1.2 million people here in San Diego County are related to the military in one fashion or another. We've been impacted in that particular community, particularly the active military families, because the pandemic sequestered people to home, that many who relied on a second source of income, the spouse having to work because of the cost of living here, and without the ability to really raise the cost of living allowance to the military family members. So
Bob, we know that Feeding San Diego also partners with other organizations that already provide services to the military. How do those partnerships work?
Well, we have over a dozen organizations that we serve with in helping bridge the gap for food on some cases. Examples are the USO, the Veterans Village of San Diego, which I'll come back and touch on again in just a minute. The STEP team, which is the Serving the Enlisted program, STEP. Armed Services YMCA. Some of the public schools that are directly related to military families, because that's where their cluster of the families live in military provided housing. And we have been able to provide food through those sources where before they weren't looking for food in most cases, they were looking for other items, diapers for babies, assistance with financial shortfalls while a husband or a spouse was deployed. We were then asked, hey, we're finding a need that has been under the surface for a long time, and that is food. Can we just get them some basic sustenance to bridge the gap until that next paycheck comes in? So we've been providing significantly there. There's one element that I would like to emphasize on with regard to an earlier reference to the Veterans Village of San Diego. VVSD partnered with us, VVSD being an organization that served homeless veterans who are on the street, bringing them off the street and giving them some health care, giving them shelter and food. We partnered with them during the period prior to Memorial Day to have veterans come in and provide assistance in packaging and then eventually doing work as volunteers at a drive-through distribution specifically focused on military families and veterans. And what a tremendous event that was.
It's so nice that people come out and they help out and they care. And to wrap everything up today, where can our viewers get more information if they need food assistance or if they want to donate or volunteer?
Well, first on the food assistance, they can visit the feedingsandiego.org website. In particular, they can go to the Find Food subtitle, click on it, put in a zip code, and they'll be able to find where the closest source of provisioning can be done from our partners and agencies. For the other side, volunteers, that can come in three different ways. One of those is financial donation. Our dollar, when you provide it to us, can go a much further distance than you just providing us with bags of groceries to put into the distribution. The second one is volunteers. We need volunteers. We rely on 12 to 14,000 volunteers a year to help us with packaging and distribution of goods to the community. The third way, which is a new innovative way that we have just now launched, is instead of using the hearts and hands of people, is to use the intellect, where we're using crowdsourcing techniques, putting that out to the volunteer community so they can work from home to provide to us intellect on subjects that we're not that smart on, but we're facing a challenge or an issue with. And that can be done through either the donor tab or the volunteer tab associated with our website.
All right, Bob, thank you so much. I can feel your passion about this, and thank you for your military service as well.
Well, you are most welcome. As I say, I'm continuing from uniform service to civic service, and very proud of it.
Thanks so much, Bob. All right, Feeding San Diego, one of our favorite people to visit with. But coming up next, we're going to visit a very special summer camp. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. For many of us, Danielle and Quincy, summer camp is a childhood rite of passage that you remember for life.
Sure do. Mission Creek Camp in Kansas, they want to make sure everyone gets a chance to have the summer camp experience. Ken and Cathy Scroggs, they're here with us today to tell us about this year's camp. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
No problem. I like those smiles. You guys look exciting. I'm sure kids will love to see your beautiful faces as well. Now, tell us about the Mission Creek Camp and actually who does the camp benefit?
Well, we are a camp for people of all ages and all abilities. We do focus on people with special needs, but we're open to all. And it's a real exciting time. We weren't able to have camp, of course, last year because of COVID, but this will be our second full year of operation. We're already into our fourth week of camp, and having a blast, riding horses and doing archery, boating, fishing, you name it. We're having a really good time.
Nice.
That's awesome. And that's so cool too, because families that have kids with special needs or kids who don't have special needs can both go to this camp. One of the cool things you guys also utilize is horse therapy. So can you tell us about the role that the horses play for the campers?
Yeah, we started Hope Ranch Therapeutic Riding Center in Manhattan, Kansas, which is about an hour away from us, 16 years ago. So the value of that is incredible. But we actually have sessions where the kids ride the horses, and they're actually taught how to ride. That's the process. You actually want them to learn how to actually handle a horse. And it's kind of funny because horses are therapeutic in the point that they don't have an agenda most of the time. But the kids learn how to ride. And so for someone with a disability to be able to take a 1,100-pound animal and move them around to do what they want it to do, that's an exhilarating thing for them, even though they're coming out of a wheelchair and can't walk or have a disability of some kind. So we found it to be very, very effective.
Yeah, that's so cool. And you were talking about horses. Danielle already knows my situation, not getting a chance to ride a horse when I was in elementary school. So I have a little trauma from that. But what other activities can the campers enjoy there?
Well, I already mentioned a few, but as we mentioned, we do have fishing and boating that's extremely popular. We have some pretty good sized bass in our lake, I guess you could say. It's about, what, an acre or so lake?
No, it's 5 acres.
5 acres. Okay,
Yeah.
5 acres.
That's a big number.
Yeah, and we have a splash park that's also very popular, that during some of the hot afternoons they can get into that. We have archery. We also have boating with the lake again. They can hike. We have arts and crafts. And one of the highlights on Thursday nights, they come in on a Sunday and leave on Friday. But Thursday night, we always have a talent show. And they sing, they dance, they play the piano. I mean, it's amazing what these young people can do. Obviously, we're geared to special needs, but everyone gets up and does a little something. So we have a lot of fun. Very moving when you're there to see them do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, I feel like nothing says summer camp like a talent show to just wrap it all up. That's so fun. So how are your signups looking? Is there still some room? Are there sessions available?
Yeah, there is still room available on some of our weeks coming up. And the last 2 weeks of our session this summer is for adult campers with special needs. So there's still time available for that.
Got you. Now we also understand that the food at the camp is outstanding. Okay. All right. So tell us about this culinary chef that you have on staff.
It just so happens that we were sitting at breakfast this morning, and one camper across the table said, "You know, one of the best things about camp is the food." I'm like, "Really?" Our son Bradley is a culinary chef. He went to Cordon Bleu in Las Vegas and was there for their 2.5-year program. So very good cook. So the food's very good. He will try out things on them. For example, he said, "I'm going to try sauteed vegetables." I'm going, "At camp? What?" They ate it all. So
yeah, it sounds like y'all are taking call-in orders.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying the spots are filling up. They have to take calls right now. People are calling in to sign up. How can people help out the camp? Do you guys take on volunteers?
Yeah, we do.
Most definitely we do. We're always looking for volunteers. And to be honest with you, right now we're in dire need of more counselors, and that is a paying position. But we do need more counselors because as the camps continue to fill up, we obviously need more people to help us take care of our campers. We especially need it for our guy campers. It's been real difficult to find male counselors. We need both genders, of course, but any young man out there, they wouldn't even have to spend the whole summer. We'll take them for a week or two just to help us get through some of these real busy camps.
Yeah.
And do you have counselors come from all over, or where area are you guys looking for?
Our very first hire this year was from Florida. And
wow.
Yes, and she's amazing. I mean, she's very creative and having so much fun with the kids. That was pretty exciting. We have one from Olathe, from the Kansas City area, and our other gals from Fort Riley. But
all over.
We also have had campers coming from. We have a camper we brought in from Maine, and we have a camper that came last time. That's coming this time from Arkansas. So the camp reaches a big district besides outside of Kansas.
In fact, the camp how many just signed up for another 2 weeks? So
yeah, sure.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, how many campers have come through total?
Well, the first year, I think we only had like 65 or 70 campers. And this year, I think we'll probably double that by the time we're finished.
Man, it is
Wow.
it is good to see the world opening back up and people getting back to the things that put smiles on people's faces. Now, how long has the camp been going on total?
Well, for us, this is only our second real year of operation. We started in 19, COVID hit, we didn't do anything, and now we're back in 20. So, yeah, the camp previous to us purchasing it has been here for 82 years.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been here a long time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Where can people get more information about the camp if they want to sign up to volunteer or if they want to attend?
Go to missioncreekcamp.org. Yeah, there's information there. Just sign up for an account, and then it asks you what you want to do. You have a camper, you want to sign up, you want to be a volunteer. And then our telephone number, we can do that, is 785-256-6357. And they can call directly and talk to Nicole. You guys found out about her. So.
She's a wonderful camp administrator.
Yeah,
she does a really good job.
She'll get them all signed up. She was talking to me this morning, and there's a lady that called that had 6 campers she wanted to sign up. So that's what she was working on, trying to get all of them done. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, so people have to sign up quick if they want to come.
That's true.
Recommend that.
Well, thanks so much, Ken and Cathy. And I know you guys have put on a good show because I know Cathy used to work in news. So I'm sure she runs a tight ship there. I'm sure it's a great talent show. So thanks so much for joining us today.
So we'll get rid of that grade school horse thing where you didn't get to ride. You need to come on out. You can do that.
Thanks so much, guys. All right, that's a lot of fun. I love summer camp. It's a great time to grow. And speaking of growing, we've talked about citrus, but how about some homegrown tomatoes? Sounds delicious. That's next. Welcome back into Main Street Living. Quincy, Cheryl, one of my favorite recipes all time to make in the summer is fried green tomatoes because there's nothing quite like homegrown tomatoes in the summertime.
Never had it.
Yum. Yes, and one of my faves is pico de gallo. I love the Mexican food or maybe a BLT sandwich a lot of people like. So if you like tomatoes, right now is the best time to enjoy them. Connie Jacavone from Jacavone Garden Center has some tips for planting and growing sweet, delicious tomatoes right in your own backyard or even on your patio. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Connie Jacavone from Jacavone Garden Center. Today we're going to talk about how to plant a tomato plant. So here's an oxheart tomato. It's an heirloom. It's going to get really tall. It's an indeterminate plant. And the way we plant a tomato plant is we plant them deep. They are a vine. So if you look really close, there's hairs along the stem. And what I always recommend to people is you plant that deep and all those little hairs become roots. You take off these bottom little legs and you can go easily this far down into the ground. Take it out of the pot, plant it in the soil all the way up to here. And all those little hairs will become roots and make this plant stronger to grow tall. So if you have any more questions, stop on by the garden center. We're always here to help.
Wow. Now that is cool. I didn't expect that.
Yes, I'm glad this past year people really got into DIY, and I wasn't really on board with the sourdough, but this I'm into.
Yeah, I am too. In fact, guys, if you want more tips on growing a garden full of edible fruits and vegetables, check out their website, jacavone.com, and click on Culinary Gardening.
That's right. And we'll stay planted right here. We'll be right back with more of Main Street Living up next.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. As always, we're having way too much fun on our breaks here, but that brought up the question for me. Cheryl, Quincy, favorite cocktail. So Cheryl, let's start with you. What's your favorite cocktail?
Definitely cosmopolitan. You take some cranberry juice, triple sec, vodka, of course, and a little bit of lime, and it's so good.
Yeah, I
Gotta
just
grow
need
those
the-
limes.
you know, I just need the cranberry juice and I'm good.
Aw, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that, Q.
Yeah,
love that.
yeah. Well, the one thing that our viewers need is to know that you can always catch us on the go on our Cox Contour app, of course. So don't miss out on that.
I know. And brand new episodes every Monday, 9 p.m. local time of us right here on Main Street Living. So guys, you got to make sure you check us out, right? Join us next time as we take another stroll down Main Street.